Hi guys, welcome back to Love and Hi guys, welcome back to Love and Confetti. I'm Dani.
And I'm Arion, and today we'll be talking about exes. And basically, the premise: can you be friends with your ex?
Okay, so
Well, it's kind of a touchy subject for many people because not everyone is in good terms with their ex, right?
yeah.
And well, I guess we're gonna talk about our own personal experiences and what we've gathered from them, and we're gonna try to relay what we've learned by maintaining a friendship with your ex or distancing yourself from your ex. So let's start with you, my love. Are you still friends with your exes?
I have Wait, let's talk about first like how many exes.
Okay, so yeah, okay, so how many exes do you have?
Like officially like boyfriend like official relationship, I don't have any, but like if it's an unofficial flirtation relationship thing, I have 3.
Okay.
But I don't really. I have like if you count high school, 4, and then so 3. But like one is not super, like it wasn't super established, so I'm gonna say 2. But like if you really boil it down, it's just 1. So 1 to 4.
What happened there?
Anyway, yeah, but you have more than me, so
Yeah.
yeah. So how many do you have?
Oh gosh. Wait. Yeah, I think 5. I think I have 5 exes. Wait.
No, babe, you have 6.
6? Wait.
Yeah, if you count the one that wasn't official, but you were like dating, right?
Wait, what? Oh yeah,
Huh?
yeah, 6. Okay, yeah, 6. Yeah. Sorry.
Wait,
Gosh.
so yeah, so you have 6.
Yeah.
So you have 6 and I have 3. So question is, how serious were the relationships for you to consider them exes?
Honestly, like, well, yeah, I mean, there's some level of seriousness for maybe one I wouldn't really consider an ex, but the others, the thing is, okay, like maybe one of them was like a 1 month fling kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The other two were 3 months, a very short 3 month relationship, but they were kind of serious, but at the same time, I was very young, so it wasn't that level of seriousness. And another one was mostly LDR, and we had a couple of moments, but that also didn't last very long. That was like 4 or 5 months. And so basically, I only have really like 2 serious exes where I was with one for like about 2 years and another one with for about like almost 4 years. Yeah.
As for me, you're my first serious boyfriend, and so before you, so like the first one, high school, doesn't really count because that was not established at all. Um, and then in college, I had 2. One was like not, no one lasted more, like no one reached a year. So the one in college was maybe, let's say, 6 months, something like that. And then the other one was like a couple of months also. And then after college, there was one more, and then I met you. So they weren't serious. Like they were like those unspoken, like we haven't gotten to that conversation, but there is something there.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't say they were serious at all. Okay, and so how are you like with your exes? Like, are you friends? Are you not?
So maybe 3 out of 3. Out of 6, sorry. 3 out of 6. So out of my 6 exes, 3 of them I'm in good terms with. We're in talking terms. We like each other's photos. We message occasionally. And it's very casual. It's very, like we're very okay with each other. We're at peace with each other. The other 3, I've tried to reconnect with, but I guess they're not ready or they
Mhm.
don't want to be friends, right? So I've tried to reach out and it's not really happening. One of them's
Yeah.
actually really famous right now, so
Yeah.
she's pretty famous in Hong Kong, and it's kind of weird because maybe for her she thinks, oh, it's kind of weird, now that I'm famous, my ex is contacting me, which of course it's not about that. I don't really care if she's famous or not. It's really just I want to like reconnect and be in good terms with her, right? But I guess I guess, she's too big already to like even notice
Yeah.
her
She's
her
not even
ex from
kind of
before.
famous. I think she is legit famous, I think.
I think
I think
yeah, I
she
think
has
she's
like
she's legit
half
big
a
time.
million like in following, something like that.
Yeah, more than half, I think.
Yeah. She's actually I wouldn't say she's my girl crush, but like I used to follow her, and then cuz I find her pretty and then I find her funny. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird because I don't even follow her, and then she's the one sending me
Yeah, I keep sending
photos of
stuff to
her. I'm
you.
like,
Yeah.
why are you why are you doing
Yeah,
this?
cuz she's funny. I don't know.
Anyway, and so I'm not in good terms with her, although I've already like basically I feel like we both screwed up in that relationship, and I should be more mad at her because in a way she did worse to me,
Mhm.
objectively speaking here. But I was the one also who apologized and kind of, tried to be the bigger person and try to be good, and
Mhm.
I did do some mistakes there as well. So I did send apologies and stuff, and I feel good about doing that. Of course, she never responded, and that's why we're not in talking terms. But which is okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm even kind of like the one rooting for you to be friends with her just because like she looks fun, and then I don't know, like she just looks like a good person to be friends with. Pushing.
Yeah, okay, sure. Sure. Anyway, I wasn't with her too long, so it's okay. But we were together for about 3 months. The other one that I'm not friends with is my very first girlfriend, actually, from high school. And I mean, I'd like to think we are friends. The thing is, like, we haven't really spoken in a long time, and I remember we were in okay terms for a couple of years, and then for some reason the communication just stopped. Every time I messaged her and say, "Hey, how are you doing?" I never really got a response.
Mhm.
So I guess she just doesn't want that part of like she doesn't want me in her life right now, which I can respect. But I was very young when I dated her, and I was really the culprit there. I did so many errors and mistakes. So I feel like, maybe she feels like it's a very bad memory from her childhood,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
From her high school years. So yeah, I respect that. Of course, I feel bad and I'd like to like reconnect and stuff, but I guess she doesn't want that, which is okay.
Yeah. For me, like I am in talking terms with all of them. One actually reached out like a month ago. Like we were talking, and then I don't know, like now we're not talking.
Oh,
So yeah, I'd like to think that I'm on good terms with everyone.
that's good. Oh, the one that I really want to be friends with is my most recent ex,
Yeah.
and we were together for 4 years, and I feel honestly like I feel really really bad. Like if you have to ask me how I feel, actually feel really bad because she was my best friend for 4 years, right? And of course we tried to like maintain a friendship right after the breakup. We tried to be cordial and good to each other, and then I don't know what happened, like just out of the blue she started getting more hostile towards me. She was getting more angry towards me, and to the point where I think she says she hates me and stuff, and I honestly, like deep down, I really don't understand why.
Hmm.
Like I don't understand what I did to hurt her or to make her feel this way towards me, but I feel bad, and I would honestly love to be friends with her again because she's somebody I cared about for 4 years. That's a long time. So for me, like that was a really sad thing to see, and I guess you can't force it, right? If she really doesn't want to be friends, and I've tried reaching out to her multiple times. It's come to the point where she just doesn't even acknowledge who I am or acknowledge me.
Hmm.
So I just leave it at that, and I just try to, I just keep her in my prayers every now and then, make sure that, or at least try to check up on her through a friend or something. But as much as possible, if she wants that privacy and if she wants that space, then I will give that to her and I will respect that, right? Anyway, so yeah, so if I had the choice, I would try to be friends with her again, but it's really weird actually because I'm friends with her brothers, I'm friends with her friends,
You're
I'm
friends with her
friends with
best friend.
and she's friends with my friends, so like we're all okay with each other's friends. We're all okay with everyone else, each other's world,
Yeah.
but with each other, it's like we can't seem to find peace, and I don't understand why. And the thing is, I'm looking for peace. I'm looking to find that peace with her, to clear up whatever bad energy, whatever bad air she might have with me, because honestly, I really do care about her. But she doesn't want that. She doesn't want to make peace with me. And what can I do, right? I can't force her. So yeah, so if I had it my way, I'd try to be friends with her. For the rest, I'm okay. I'm at peace with. And the other three, I'm in very good terms with. I can message them anytime, and we chat and we talk and we have a good time, you know? So we're okay in that sense. Okay, so I guess the big question is, why should you be friends with your ex and why shouldn't you be friends with your ex?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, I mean, I'm sorry to say this, but I guess it boils down to who that ex is, right? So, so it's like it really boils down to what the relationship you had with your ex was, and who is that ex, right? If
Like
that ex
who
was
are they in your life?
exactly, if they were somebody who, for the most part, were very toxic, or did not teach you, you know, proper things, just a very negative energy, then I would say,
Cut
hell
them
no,
off.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, cut them off. Don't be friends with your ex, right? But if they were somebody good for you and maybe it ended on terms that you didn't expect, right? But they were actually good, they were your friend, then I say go for it. You know, you should try to be friends with your ex, because whether you like it or not, they were a part of your lives, and for all you know, having them in your life again, if you manage to keep them as an ex, of course, you need to have some self-control, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if they were somebody good in your life, then I say go for it. And for all you know, they might even further or better your life currently by
Yeah.
having them around, right?
Yeah. And I would say, like, as much as it is hard to do, like, try, unless it ended like really bad and they were like a really toxic person, like they were just like shit to you, I would say, like, try not to be bitter and like try not to hate them. I mean, I get that you are, you know, like it didn't go your way, or you know something might have happened and then you're mad at them, but just like, because sometimes like all the bad feelings that you have towards your ex you can kind of bring into your new relationship. So for example, let's say I was, you know, quote unquote traumatized because, let's say, my ex started talking to someone at the end of our relationship, or like moved on too fast. Let's say 1 month after our breakup they started dating again, and let's say I was okay with them during the breakup, and when I found out that, oh, like, why are you messaging some, like, why are you moving on so fast, and then you get mad, and then so my point of view just changes into like, you know what, I don't even want to find love anymore, I don't want to, like, I don't believe in love, stuff like that. And then if you're super bitter, you know, it can affect like your future choices or how you interact with new people, or like, are you going to be welcoming to new people in your life? So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's just like, I know that it's hard to do, and it's really like, for me it's a case to case basis, but like just as much as possible, like try to not be like, just to not be, what do you call that, bitter about it. Like, try not to hate them if they didn't do something that is worth hating them for.
Yeah. You know, in the end of the day, sometimes it's just a compatibility issue, and you
Yeah.
guys might not be compatible. Maybe they were a great person and all that, but maybe you were not just the right person for them.
Yeah.
And I know that hurts to hear, but it happens, you know? Sometimes you're just not the right person for your ex, and vice versa, your ex wasn't the right person for you.
Yeah, dude, that's so
So,
true. Because, like, I've had a lot of friends recently who have broken up and they have, like, really bad feelings towards their ex. And I just keep telling them, like, I sound, you know, like, to them, maybe it would seem to them that I don't, what do you call that? That I'm not validating their feelings or something. Like, you know, like, because they complain about their exes as if they were the scum of the earth, something like that. And then I just always tell them, like, you know, it's really down to compatibility. You're not compatible. Like, you really were not compatible during the relationship because you wanted this, he wanted that. For example, you wanted, let's say, you wanted to talk every day. That person didn't really want to talk as much, something like that. And he is not wrong, and you are not wrong. That's what he wanted. He wanted, you know, independence. He wanted to do his own thing. You wanted to talk all the time, and that's what you wanted to do with your time. But then like there is such thing as a compromise. It's just that it's one thing to like compromise your needs, and one thing to like, how do I say this? Like one thing to like meet them in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But if at the end of the day you're kind of like compromising your core, like you're never at peace with yourself because you feel like what you're doing isn't natural to you. For example, like if it becomes a chore, like, oh, I have to talk to you because you always want to talk, or like, you know what, if he doesn't want to talk, fine, but during the times we're not talking, I really feel super antsy and I feel super anxious because like we're not talking, so like yeah, you can compromise, like let's say you set a time to talk or something, but if at the end of the day, like if what you're doing is really like it doesn't make you feel good, because for me, like like who you're with should put you at peace.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally agree. It's really like many times in a relationship, you try to dissect what happened, and you try to like analyze what this person did to you and stuff, and it shouldn't be that way. Sometimes you just got to realize that maybe your differences is what made the relationship not work, because you had different point of views, you had different goals, different visions,
Yeah.
and it happens. It really happens. And it even happens with people that you spend 6-7 years with, and it's sad to see, but sometimes people just grow into a different direction. they
Yeah.
they they you kind of like start the same and then you diverge, and there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot beat yourself up over it and say, I should have done something differently. No. In the end of the day, you shouldn't be bitter or feel hostility towards your ex for just changing, or for just not being in the same level, in the same wavelength as you. I think you just move on and thank your ex, quoting Ariana Grande here, thank your ex, right? And go to the next. In the end of the day, there's always going to be somebody who matches your wavelength, somebody who's
Yeah.
going to match your energy, your wavelength, and it's a good thing, because there's so many people out there, and if you just shut yourself off from the opportunity to meet other people, then you'll never find your soulmate, your perfect person. So, like, for example, for me, I felt completely bitter and I felt completely sad in my most recent breakup, but then I forced myself, I tried to open up to other people, and I really I made a super effort, because honestly, like, if I had it my way, I wanted to sulk, I wanted to cry in a corner, I wanted to just not date anyone and just be sad and mope around, but I didn't. And I said, you know what, I gotta get myself out there, and I gotta try to date other people. And I did for a bit, and I met some, honestly, like, I had some bad experiences, and then I met Danny in just like, what, maybe a month or two.
Yeah,
And
that's
that's
why.
that's
After
that's
your biggest
incredible.
heartbreak pa.
Exactly. After my biggest heartbreak, I meet Danny, and she was just a breath of fresh air. I just felt like, wow, like, what's happening? I felt so confused, and I was like, is this for real? Like, did I really meet somebody who was just this great? And someone this reliable too. And yeah, it was the best thing that could have happened to me. Danny saved me from my, like, she probably didn't realize it at the time, but Danny saved me from the depths. If I had more bad dating experiences, I would have probably been like super depressed. But because Danny just showed up at like the right time, and I'm still mending my broken heart. I'm not fully over my ex, and I'm sure Danny at the time probably realized it. And I feel bad because maybe Danny felt like, maybe I was just taking advantage of Danny or something, and that's not the case. It was more of like, when I met Danny, it's like, crap, I gotta cling on to this girl. This girl's really good for me right now. And true enough, we're gonna celebrate 3 years this coming November.
Yeah.
So it's been really, really good.
Yeah, but how I felt was like, why are you being so aggressive? We just met and you just broke up with your girlfriend, like a long time girlfriend. So then how I saw it was like, he probably sees me as a rebound. And that's why I kept telling you, like, no, I don't want to commit yet, like, cuz I felt like I just thought that you wanted someone, someone fast, someone easy.
Well, I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. Like, just to
That's
say, I'm
okay.
sorry that, you felt that way. But
That's okay. But
anyway, at least we're in a really good spot right now.
yeah, but I also didn't like I didn't feel I don't know, I didn't feel that you were super sad during our early stages.
I was.
Yeah, I know, but you didn't it's not like you just meet. You don't talk about exes and talk
Mm-hmm.
about
I
your
know.
heartbreak. So we didn't like have that discussion then. I just assumed that you were sad, not that I saw it, but then that was just like my assumption all
Mm-hmm.
the time.
Well, I mean, when we first met, like literally not even first met, when we first chatted, I think that was the very first thing I told you because I was like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
super blunt and honest. Like, oh, I'm here because I broke up with my
Yeah.
ex. And I guess I wanted to approach it in a very honest way. Like I just
Yeah.
wanted to be like super like this is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing these things.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were like just I don't know, like I think we were like just looking to be friends or whatever. Because I mean, like hello, we just
Kind of,
matched.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then the thing is like when we actually met in person, I just felt this like strong attraction for Danny and I was like, "Whoa." So I couldn't hold back. I really couldn't hold back now.
Yeah. Okay, so like moving forward, like do you think it's intrusive? Or like just jumping on what you said, do you think it's intrusive if you ask your partner about their exes?
No, not at all.
Because like you and me, like we talked about exes like really early on. Like I think like for the first, even within the first week, I think of talking, we brought them up or we asked each other about them. And like to some people that's kind of weird. Like I have some friends who haven't discussed their exes, and they're sort of together already. So like to some, it's kind of like leave the past in the past.
Mm,
But for us, we were like, I want to know.
for me, I think I guess it depends on the person, but maybe yes, it can be intrusive to some people because they feel like this is something very touchy. This is it's somebody you shared something with someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
You shared your heart with someone, and now you're sharing your heart with somebody new, and then it's like that new person just wants to know about your past,
Right.
about what you did, what mistakes you may have made, and maybe you're not at that level to share it yet. So I think like okay, you can ask, but of course you shouldn't be asking at the very beginning. With me and Danny, we were just being casual about it, so we
Yeah.
were okay. But some people, I guess, they're not comfortable talking about their exes, and I think that you got to be respectful about that
That's
because
true.
it's really something that is touchy for many people.
But what about if you're like, let's say you're official na and you're kind of, like, let's say we are boyfriend and girlfriend for, I don't know, like 5 months or whatever.
Hmm.
Like, do you think it's intrusive to ask then, like when you're officially
No, I
together?
think it's okay. I think it's okay to ask then, but I don't think you should ask with the objective to find out all the dirty details. I think you should just ask because you want to know this person's a little more of this person's past, right? But like for example, I'm sorry to call out on some of the girls here, but I have had some friends who were girls, and whenever they ask about their boyfriend's exes, they'd start to get really like jealous, and then they'd start to
Mm,
like stalk the ex, and then they'd start to get into this whole zone. If that's your objective, then please don't do that because that's
mm-hmm.
worse for you than it
Yeah.
is for yourself than for your relationship, right? So, like, if you're gonna find out about your boyfriend's ex, then just do that. Just like ask some questions and ask how that person felt, and just find out about your current partner. But if you're going to ask your partner about their ex and just do it because you want to stalk who they are, you want to find out all this information about who that ex was, I say don't do that because I mean, it might be tempting to do, but it's just gonna be worse for you. And then you might even start like comparing yourself to that person's ex, and that's like the worst you could possibly do.
Yeah. Have you tried doing that? Like going down that
What com-
rabbit hole of like stalking your person's ex?
um no, not really. Like they'd share me who their ex was. I wouldn't really like search them.
Oh.
I think it would be the opposite, actually. And I think this applies to everyone. It's not about stalking the ex, it's about stalking the person after you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think that's more common.
Yeah.
You'll be like, huh, that well, you're dating that person.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
looks
yeah.
nothing like me. What are you doing? Yeah, sometimes that happens, and yeah, I did that a couple of times. I think I did that with like my first, not like my third girlfriend, and also my like subsequent girlfriends. I'd be like, why are you going for this person? I'd kind of like be like, whoa, grr. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the end of the day, it's not healthy either. So I'd say
That's
no
true.
to both. Don't do that to both, right?
For me, I haven't tried like stalking my ex's ex or whatever, because for the first two they didn't have girlfriends before me. So I would have, like, if it happened, then I would have become their first girlfriends. With the third one, I didn't super stalk the one after, like, I don't know. Okay, sige, yeah, okay, I did. But it didn't become an obsessive thing because I was like just trying to like find someone to date after. So I wasn't like wallowing.
Yeah, that's good. That's why. So I guess, it's not wise to ask about your partner's ex if that's what you want to do. Just stalk and, find out all this dirty information and stuff. No. Because honestly, if you're just doing that for that, then would you want to be sharing your access with your partner too? I don't think so. You probably would. You'd probably not want to do that if your ex, if your boyfriend or girlfriend, if your partner is going to do that to you, then don't do that to them.
Yeah. But I feel like generally I think that it's good to share about excess. Like that's my personal opinion lang, because I feel like
Mm-hmm.
your partner should know what happened to you in the past. Like, like if your exes made you who you are now, then they should know like the backstory of it. Or like let's say if you're more
Yes.
cautious about relationships, why? If if they hurt you in some way, why? And like so that they don't repeat the same mistake, things like that. So I feel like in
Mm-hmm.
general you should have that ex talk.
Of course, definitely, definitely.
Has your ex changed the way that you look at relationships?
Well,
Or
to
if
quote Ariana Grande again, well, I'm not really quoting her because I don't remember the lyrics, but
it's
she
thank you
did
next,
mention
babe.
every. Yeah, thank you next. But she did mention like every ex's name and thanking them for certain things that they taught them. And I think that is the case. I think that every single person that you've been with and shared something with has taught you something, even if it feels like it was just a very short relationship or something. Everybody has taught you something, and like for me, I've learned so much along the way. And I guess like if you put it this way, when I started dating, I was a completely different person and from who I am now. And I don't think Danny would have liked that different person. The person who I am now is kind of thanks to my exes.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. No, I can't imagine like meeting you before and you being different. Like I just see you as you. We have this conversation like what if we met like let's say 5 years ago? Like would we be together and stuff? Like I would say yes because I like the way I see you now is how I imagine you would be 5 years ago, and then I have to remember that you were a different person 5 years ago, but I can't imagine what that person might be.
I know, that's why. So, yeah, so I would thank all my exes for every lesson they taught me, for the patience they gave me, for the heartbreaks that taught me certain things and taught me like what I needed, what I actually needed in relationship and stuff. And I'm not at all like ungrateful for whatever I had. Even the bad relationships, I don't regret anything because it is what shaped me and it is what made me who I am today.
For me, like I think my biggest takeaway from like in general for like all my exes would be that like you shouldn't play games, like mind games, and you should just be very honest early on and upfront and direct early on. And that's something that I learned from you, which I wish I realized sooner, and maybe like things would be different.
Yeah, and you know what? Like the funny thing here is that I'm giving you a crash course of things that I learned through many, many years. And I kind of just like dumped it to you.
Yeah.
And like, so, look, this is what I've learned. And you've picked it up and you've learned from me, and that's good, you know? So yeah, now you're teaching everyone else. And it's funny because these are the lessons I learned from my exes as well, right? I learned to be more direct. I learned to be more of these things, right? And this is what I learned from my exes. And technically you are learning from my exes, which is funny. Like, it's ironic, but you are learning from what I've learned.
Yeah. And I'm trying to like get all my friends into this, like you have to be very direct with them, you have to be very honest, just say what you feel and tell them what you need. And then they always look at me as if I'm like, what, are you crazy? Like, why would I say that? Like I have to appear strong. I don't want to appear needy. And so, they never listen to my advice because everyone else's advice would always be, you have to say this, you have to act a certain way, act like you don't care so that they chase you, blah, blah, blah. And my advice is just really completely the opposite. Just like say that you are upset because this and that. So yeah, maybe some people just learn through experience. So maybe they have to like really experience
Yes.
whatever so that they...
You haven't had to learn through experience.
Yeah, that's true. Because I learned from like you doing it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, just going back, we talked about like if it's intrusive, if you ask your partner about their ex, right? But what about if your partner talks about their ex? Like, do you think it's proper or is it rude?
I don't think it's rude. I think it's the way it's like approached. So, for example, if you go, I mean, this is just downright rude for me. If you go, oh, my ex used to do it like that, then of course that's rude because you're making a direct comparison to your current partner with your ex, which you shouldn't be doing. That's a no-go in any relationship. But if you're just talking casually about what happened in the past and what your ex was like, then I don't think it's rude.
What about if they talk about their exes a lot?
Then that's a sign that maybe your partner isn't super over your ex at the moment. Their exes.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's something that you need to address and say, look, I think that maybe you're not super over your ex right now.
Yeah.
Because you keep mentioning them and talking about them and stuff.
What? Okay, because you brought it up. Do you think that it's fair to compare your current partner with your exes? Like, not okay. So it's, you said that it's rude if you say like, oh, they used to do it like this and you're not doing it like that. So if it's in that tone and if it's in that context, like, yeah, hell yeah, it's rude. But what if like, just compare like certain things, even not with a negative light, just like he used to do this
Positive.
and you no, not even just positive, just certain things. Like for example, I can't think of a scenario right now, but let's say with my ex we always used to watch movies and with us we don't.
I guess, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on the context. Like it depends on the delivery, the context. If you were comparing, let's say you're constantly comparing your ex and your partner. If you're doing it in your mind and not saying it out loud, then I say it's fine because it's your own thoughts. And maybe there are certain comparisons you want to make in your mind, good and bad, both, whatever. But you want to have that, like, I mean, your ex was a standard for certain things, right? And your current partner is a standard for other things. Of course, there's always going to be a comparison. Right? Everyone says it's bad to compare, but there will always be a comparison of some sort. And it's not that you're comparing because you want your current partner to be like that. It's more of you're comparing because they are different. And you have to recognize those differences. To fully appreciate your partner, you need to recognize the differences between your partner and your ex. And of course, the good traits and the good similarities as well. So I think it's okay to compare, especially if it's like mental notes, like it's just all in your head. But if you're like constantly like pointing things out to your current partner and like pointing out things they do, positive or not, I don't think it's good to keep comparing, because it's going to be like, it's going to make your current partner feel like that ex or those exes were the standard. And I'm just a comparison point, I'm just like the new girl here and I'm just being compared to like all these exes. And I don't think you should be doing those things. So I don't agree that you should be comparing constantly and especially pointing it out. If you're comparing, try to keep it to yourself, keep it in your mind, these are some of the trait differences. And eventually you'll recognize your partner as their own individual, right? Because I guess in the beginning of every relationship, you're always coming from a different viewpoint, right? Eventually, you got to really respect your partner for who your partner is and just stop comparing because it's not fair anymore to your partner.
Yeah. Let's talk about something kind of juicy. Have we ever gotten over sorry, have we ever gotten jealous over each other's exes?
I've not. I don't think I've ever gotten jealous over your exes. That's not that juicy for me.
No, it's juicy for other people. Okay,
Okay,
for
well,
me, I haven't over yours.
yeah. I think we haven't gotten jealous yet
Yeah,
over
but
each other's
you get
exes.
like kind of touchy over some of mine.
Not touchy. I just get annoyed when like they try to be all overly friendly and stuff and
Oh yeah, that's
that's
fair.
I'm not like it's not really touchy. Sometimes I kind of just act territorial because, like that's my style. But I don't actually feel like a jealousy because I don't see, jealousy stems from your partner,
Mhm.
not from the ex. If the ex messages out of the blue and says a couple of things here and there, I'm not jealous of that ex. I'm more like on red alert. Like I'm kind of like, focused on what's happening and okay, maybe your ex is trying to be friendly, that's fine, or maybe your ex is trying to do something else.
Mhm.
Okay? Jealousy is when your partner still has a picture of their ex on their phone, or maybe they still talk about their ex in a very fond way. Sometimes they say they miss their ex. That's more blatant, but that's when you can get jealous because it's like, excuse me, why are you like talking about your ex? Why are you like thinking about your ex this way,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Then yeah, then you can get jealous over someone's ex.
Okay. We're gonna wrap this episode up. Just the loaded question na lang because we're running out of time. So my loaded question of the week is it okay for your partner to still have their exes photos on their Instagram feed, and if they still like follow and like their exes posts, or is it not?
Well, it's funny you asked that because when we dated, I still had my ex's
Yeah.
photos, and I
Yeah.
still do actually. And so, in my opinion, I stand with a no. I think that it's totally okay.
Yeah, I think like when we started dating and even after we got together, I think you had like more than 5
Yeah,
photos of
that's
your
why.
ex, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, totally, like I think it's okay. Why? Because in the end of the day, that person was part of your life, and you can delete all you want. Fine, you can do that, but it's not nice. It's
Mhm.
like you're not showing gratitude for your ex. And what kind of message does that show your current partner?
That's true.
You know, you're showing your current partner that you're somebody who disregards people that they spent time with,
Mhm.
disregard the friendship, disregard everything. And I don't think that's right. I keep photos of my ex because I want people to know that I'm okay with them. And I'm not the type to like throw this away and be ungrateful. And I've done that before. I've actually deleted my ex's photos before. I've done that in for multiple exes, and that was the wrong thing to do in my
Mhm.
opinion. So I've learned that over the years, and I've realized that no, you shouldn't be doing that because these people were once a part of your life, and if it's on your feed, deep down in your feed, keep it there.
Mhm.
There's no harm in doing that.
Yeah. It's just funny because some of my friends pointed that out that you still had your ex's photos on your feed, and then they were
Hmm.
like asking me like, "Aren't you gonna ask him to delete it?" I was like, no, that's not really bother me. I mean, like whether it's on their feed or not, like how they feel about their exes probably is gonna like. I mean, if you still love your ex, whether she's on your feed or not, then you still love your ex. Is my point.
Hmm.
And they just thought it
Yeah.
was like, no, it's rude because you have to like respect your current partner and like delete the old ones and stuff. And I was just kind of like, you know what? Like if I had an ex, I'd still want them on my feed unless it ended like really crap. Like I don't want
That's
to
why.
ask you to delete your ex's photos off your feed. Like I wouldn't
No,
want
or
you
like
to ask me. I wouldn't want to be treated like that. Like I don't want to be put on the stand and be
exactly.
like, I have to do this because you asked me to. Like I'd want to do it just for myself.
Exactly. No, and to follow up with what you said, Imagine if you became an ex with your current partner. Would you want your current partner to delete you off the face of the internet as if you never existed? I mean, how would that feel for you, right? So I think it's a matter of respect. Do you respect your ex or not? Do you feel a certain respect towards your ex or not? If you do, then don't just delete them off the face of the internet, right? They were a part of your life. Because you wouldn't do that with your current partner. And if something happens with your current partner and you break up with your current partner, are you going to immediately delete all your photos that you've
Yeah.
spent, that you've taken with that person? No. I don't think that's a good thing. So for me, I'm totally against deleting and removing everything that you've ever had with anyone. Maybe some people you don't respect, and fine. Those people who you really can't respect and those people that you have you want no ties with, fine, you can delete. But if it's a partner who you are friends with and who you feel a certain respect towards, I don't think you should be doing those things.
With that said, I hope you liked our episode, and I hope that this was I hope this was valuable and fun. Hope you're entertained. This has been Love and Confetti, and we will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.